Okay, I'm generating a quote now. Okay. Oh, sorry.
You already started?
Yeah.
Where's the time?
Right there.
So, we all remember when Miley Cyrus twerked at the VMAs. I mean, it was made serious news. It was all over the place. And this was around the time that Syria was basically declaring war on us. I mean, for the most part. And everybody was just completely enveloped into this whole twerking and how slutty she looked and whatnot. So this brings me to my quote: "It is better for the civilization to be going down the drain than to be coming up it," by Henry Allen. My interpretation of this is that, yes, it is inevitable for us as a society to basically demean ourselves, but it could also be ignored and we can kind of rise above it. So my first example of that would be this Pakistani girl. Her name is Malala. I can't pronounce her last name, so I'm not going to try and butcher it, but she was basically a student that was living in a Taliban enforced area of Pakistan, and she was fighting for women to be able to go to school, because in that certain area of Pakistan, the Taliban will not allow girls to attend school and get an education. So she was fighting for this through, of course, nonviolence, and she was, just being active in the community and, giving speeches and whatnot. The Taliban didn't like this, and they shot her in the face. Luckily, she survived, and she gave this wonderful speech at the UN saying that she wasn't defeated by the Taliban's cowardness of trying to basically take her out, and she was fighting all the more for her cause. This brings me back to the quote: "It is better for civilization to be going down the drain than to be coming up it." I mean, of course, that's an awful thing to do, to shoot a girl in the face, but it's people like Malala that are bringing almost like a reason for all of us to have this motivation to be better. So my second example would be the movie V for Vendetta. So this really reminds me of our quote, because in that movie, basically it's like a Big Brother scenario, and the government takes over every aspect of these people's lives. Natalie Portman is one of the main characters, and this guy V that she's introduced to, is fighting against the government. He hates the government. He wants to do everything in his power to basically expose them for the corrupt people, and show how swayed they are in terms of their own greed and controlling ways. This brings me back to my interpretation that although it is inevitable for us to be almost demeaning to ourselves, we can find other ways to basically fight that. Now, back to my quote: "It is better for a civilization to be going down the drain than to be coming up it." Again, going back to my interpretation, I completely envision this as basically that although we want to be demeaning to each other, bring each other down, it is better for us to, work higher towards bringing each other back up. I completely disagree to a certain extent with this quote, because I don't think we should ever accept a failure for our society, but although I do see how the media tries to basically, sway us and interpret us as dumb people, as if another observer was looking. So I can see it to a certain extent, but I don't completely agree. So my main examples was Malala and the movie V for Vendetta, and they support my interpretation that although we want to demean ourselves and that can be inevitable, within a media standpoint or within society or us just being mean to each other. It is better for the civilization to be going down the drain than to be coming up it. Thank you.